Right guys, it's Mad and welcome back. Right, AMX 5100 quick review, and today is actually going to be pretty damn quick. So Lorraine 40 tons straight onto the grind you get here from the AMX 1390, and I'm afraid the first pack here, the stock tank, carries on using the AMX 1390's gun, which is a little bit poo. But you do keep the same turret the whole way up, so you have 400 meters base view range at the start. So this first pack here for me I think was free, and that was because the 100mm on this tank is used first on the AMX 5100 and then one of the stock guns on the AMX 5120. So if you research it on the AMX 5100, this first pack I think was either free or you had to pay a little bit of experience for the radio. But it's a tier 10 radio, so if this is not your first French line, more than likely you've already got it anyway. So at this point the tank is actually pretty good. All you're lacking is a little bit of engine power and a little bit of traverse speed, and it is yeah, it's a good tank here, but just good. When you get to this pack, this tank becomes truly great. You get the nice big bad boy engine and some better tracks. So let's have a look at the stats. So considering this is a Lorraine 40T, which stands for 40 ton, you get a 980 brake horsepower engine, and depending on your equipment fit, this tank doesn't actually weigh the full 40 tons. So you can see there the specific power is well over 20. It's ridiculous. This thing bombs along really quick. It gets right up to its top speed really quick and maintains it over pretty much rough ground and up sort of slight slopes. So the maneuverability is very good, and you're going to need it because of the armour, which we'll go into tanks.gg and show you afterwards. Onto the gun then. For those of you that have played the AMX 5100, it will be very familiar, bar the rate of fire I think, which is slightly better on this at 6.39 rounds a minute. And because it's an autoloader, the DPM is bad. But then all autoloaders are, because they play in a different way than sort of the non-autoloaders do, because of the way the DPM is calculated, your shots per minute. Because you fire a few shots and then have to reload a drum, it kind of interferes with how DPM is calculated. Although it's not that good anyway, it's not as bad as it sounds. Penetration is excellent. It's exactly the same as the AMX 5100, I believe. 232 pen with your AP rounds and 300 damage, meaning you can do 369, 1800 damage in one clip. Premium pen doesn't go up by much. The APCR rounds go up to 263 with the same alpha damage, and HE pen is low, but then I wouldn't load any, and we'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. Aim time is what really does lend this thing more to a surprise butt sex tank. 3 seconds, yeah, you want to be pretty close when you unload. You can fire from range, but you need to be very careful that you remain unspotted, because that 3 seconds is long enough for something like a Waffenträger to get 2 rounds into you and do you for more than half of your health. Yeah, but the camo value on this tank is very good. And if you fit paint, camo, skill, crew, you can get away with being a long range sniper, as well as doing the old surprise, I'm behind you type thing. Anyway, accuracy is okay at 0.36. It will let you down from range. Traverse speed is pretty good at 34 degrees a second. That's acceptable, and obviously the engine power makes this thing feel pretty alive. And then the turret, 400 meters view range, 42 degrees traverse speed, which is pretty good. And you can see there the armor figures are low, and that's the front of the turret is thicker than anything on the hull. So yeah, you're not doing too bad on the turret, 45mm. And signal range is pretty good at 750, and that is all you need to know. Yeah. So what was I talking about in here? Can't remember. Anyway. Yeah, the HE pen. That was it. Don't bother loading any. If you see a light skin target and you need to change your drum, it's going to take you about 45-50 seconds to reload your drum. So that light skin target's either going to be dead, or they've killed you, or they've run away. So absolutely no need to load HE in this tank. It's just a waste of clip space. Anyway, right into tanks.gg now. Quick look at how little armour this thing has got. Right, so here we are, tankers, looking at the Lorraine in tanks.gg. Remember, tier 9 French medium tank, so it's tier 9, so would you expect some decent armour values? Well, let me show you where you're going to get abused from. They're going to abuse you here, they're going to abuse you here, and they're going to abuse you here. No, being serious now, right? Front of this thing is fairly well angled, but it's only 40mm, meaning 120mm cannons don't even have to aim at you there. They're going to go through guaranteed pen every time. Guns with a lower caliber of 120mm, they're still going to partially overmatch you, and so it's pretty much going to be a guaranteed pen unless you get some crazy angle and say it's still 100% chance there. I don't know what gun this is set up firing at, but for a light tank that might end up being a ricochet. And the only real part of this tank that might actually bounce is the gun. If people hit you along here, you've got a good chance of a ricochet, but then it might ricochet into your turret anyway. Yeah, so the turret's no better, still 45mm with some weird shapes. So you're going to get penned there. Onto the side. This part's nicely angled, but it's still 40mm, so you're going to get penned there. Drops to 30 underneath with some space tracks under here, which count as 20. So don't be fooled into firing heat or HE down here. Fire AP, it's going to go straight through. I don't know, HE rounds, if you do aim for this and you miss and hit this, the track's going to set them off, and because it's only 30mm of armour underneath, you're still going to do a fair amount of splash, but you're better off just going for a full penetration. Aim for here, look, 30mm. HE all day long. And the back of the tank is no better, in fact it's much worse. 25mm, 25mm, 30mm, and 30mm. So yeah, pretty much every tank this thing can meet can pen this thing from anywhere, apart from the odd lucky bounce off some maybe some weird sort of funny angles if you can find them on the turret. There's just every now and again there's just some strange numbers picking up. I found 100 odd just a second ago, but I can't find it again now. 81, 90s, but it's mainly the gun mantlet that might pull off some bounces if you're very, very lucky. Anyway, so that's it, fellas. Absolutely bugger all to talk about in here. Let's go back to the stats quick. DPM is crappy because it's an auto-loader, so it doesn't really count. Gun depression is good, 8 degrees for most of the traverse. But because it's quite a tall tank, the height of a tank affects its effective gun depression, so it feels like a little bit less than 8 degrees. But the gun elevation is only 15 degrees, and that isn't great. But same with all of the French oscillating turrets. They don't do very well with aiming up. Gun depression goes down to 5 degrees over the back, so just be careful about that. Right, so that's it, guys. Basically, not really much to talk about in the garage because it's really thin armour everywhere around. The gun depression's okay, and that's about it.
We've got enemies incoming. Either take them out or capture their base. Let's go.
Straight into some gameplay then. Like I said, I want to keep this one as brief as possible for you guys. So there we go, team list. I do have quite a healthy platoon, which helps, but it's a tier 10 game, and Lorraine has no armour, so let's see how we get on. See, from the speed, I'm the first one here. You're always going to be the first one pretty much everywhere, unless there's some really fast, sneaky light tanks with you. There's 3 artilleries aside, which with 45mm of armour at maximum, you're going to get, if you get hit by artillery, even a HE shell, they're going to totally overmatch you. And I have been one shot a couple of times in this tank. Ideally it's best to stay mobile. If you've been spotted in one location, try and at least move a little bit in case the artillery to just take a blind punt.
Target locked.
Yeah, I'll spot a very nasty tank there, so I'll get out of there as quick as I can. Do take a little punt at him with auto aim, but this gun is not accurate enough, and on the move it's just not going to be accurate enough to hit those sort of shots, so it's probably a waste of a round there.
Enemy exposed.
There we go, Waffly 100 tracks me.
No good.
Used my repair kit pretty quick. I could have used it a little bit quicker there. I could have been dead really. But this guy seems to want to die. So actually aim the shots a little bit better. You can see the aim time, it's not great. And there we go, we kill the WT Alpha E100 there, and he's out of the game, which is handy. But I only penned a couple of shots out of 6, and that's, like I say, a few of those shots there, especially the first one, waste of a shot. Obviously if it had hit, I would have said something different, but there we go. And you saw the aim time there, and the accuracy, trying to fire on the move. Sort of, I was rocking backwards and forwards, trying not to give the Waffle a good shot on me. But what that also meant was, I basically gave up any hope of hitting him until I actually aimed one in properly. Here we go, I was behind the hill there, spotted and detected, so artillery will probably have a little looky over here. There goes one round over.
Target locked.
That Tiger 2 is pushed over. That's easy meat for this gun, especially from the side, but he jumps off. So the map's looking a little busy the other side. We do have a lot of our team camping at the back though, so they shouldn't be able to push through. But, you know, this tank's so fast you can just drive over, have a look, see what's going on, and then go back over the other side again. Well, they are trying to push through, so it's probably going to leave me with some ideal opportunities to get some nice shots in here. Here's that Tiger 2. You can run, but you can't hide. No, you can hide actually. Oh, he backed up, thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Ready to fire on target.
There's the enemy team's back chat. This would be ideal to take a little bit of health off of him. Oh, it just skims his turret. Didn't quite aim that one well enough. Never mind. Right, so on the reload now.
Target locked. Enemies got us in their sights.
Right, so the platoon seem to be holding up the other side well enough. So I'm going to stay here, just finish off my reload to see if I can empty another clip.
The enemy knows our location.
Comes the bat chat. Luckily I was loaded. Hit him in his ammo rack, so if he is on the reload, and we kill him dead. I think that was an ammo rack. Happy days. Now what have you got? Oh, a levee. Yeah, tier 8 heavies, not a problem with the standard pen on this gun. Ah, I actually hit the target there. There's an STB-1 over there being sneaky.
Focus on this location.
Just staying out of render range till I've reloaded. So you can kind of see what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying not to fight people fairly. If you try and fight other tier 9, 10s fairly, i.e. face to face, you're going to take damage. You're probably going to do damage to them, but it's all about the trades in this thing. Ideally you want to be letting off a clip and taking no more than 1 or 2 shots in return, depending on what the tank is that's firing at you, obviously. And try and use its camo value. Although it's a big, tall tank, for some reason they've given it a ridiculously good camo value. Yeah, go figure. So wait for the Agpanzer to turn. Never going to pen him from the front, even with premium rounds, unless I could accurately get his lower plate. Oh, someone puts a nice big hit in there and we get assist points for that one. Probably not all the assist points, but we do get some of it.
Target locked.
Ah, it's a funny place for you, Mr. Lorraine. Hey, we got the same names. There we go. Nice little kill there. Hitting things on the move with this gun at that sort of range is quite hard.
Focus on this location.
Oh, there's the other one.
Fire on target.
Oh, he has a dig at me. Lucky to miss that one. That would have been game over. Right, so the end game situation. We know where their artillery is, we know where their Jagdpanzer is, and I'm pretty sure the STB-1's going to be in exactly the same place. Most of our team have headed over, so we just need some spots, and hopefully the team can help me out. So I've been spotted. Where are they? No, the Jagdpanzer's dead actually. It's a Rheinmetall Borsig that's left. Oh! I got hit from behind. Where the hell is he? There he is, the sneaky Japanese get. Now, luckily the team take him out, so it's just that Rheinmetall Borsig over there. One of the guys says he's got the big gun, so I'm firmly within one-shot territory now, so I just decide to wait for him to get spotted. Bit boring, I know, but what I don't want to do is go in, get one-shotted, let the guy get a reload in, one-shot the next guy, and then there's 1 versus 1 and he possibly wins the game. Always best to fight unfair, i.e. 2 or 3 on 1. There he is. Luckily, I was aimed almost exactly where he was, so I'm aimed fully in. Hit him 2, that's 2 out of 2. That missed, that was not very well aimed. That one was okay aimed, but it just missed anyway. That one looked like it was aimed okay, so I've got 1 round left in this game. Bang, take down the Borsig. Hit 3 out of 6 there. Very lucky to pick up the last hit there. Well, so there we go. Lorraine in a tier 10 game. Not a ridiculously big game. So we'll just have a quick look at the results and then we'll talk about the 2 types of equipment fit you can use on this. Anyway, so picked up a high caliber Mastery 1 for 5k damage, just over a k assist in a tier 10 game, so not too bad, and you can see from the results screen in a minute. Myself and our tier 9 platoon, we pretty much held up that tier 10 game, which is what you can do in a lot of tier 9s. They're basically just tier 10s that aren't quite as good. Although on this line the Batchat is a bloody good tank and it is well worth the grind. Anyway, so 2 types of equipment fit for this tank you can use for, they're both very effective, just work slightly different ways. The first one which I used is vents, gun lane drive and vert stabs as well, to try and get rid of that horrendous aim time which is this thing's main drawback. Or you can go for vents, vert stabs and coated optics, just to be a complete camo value spotting machine and just outplay people that way. Yeah, so 2 different fits. One's more designed for being able to aim as fast as you can, and the other one is to be more sneaky and hide in bushes and spot things and pick up assist points, which is what a medium tank needs to do as well, but you do have the 400 meters base. So it all depends on how good your crew is, really. Anyway, so there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just a few points before you go. Don't bother loading a HE clip. If you get left in an endgame situation and you've burnt all your ammo and you have a HE clip left versus a mouse, you're screwed. If you see an artillery piece and you want to load up a HE clip, it's going to be 50 odd seconds before you're ready to kill him, and he'll either be dead or he's one-shot you. So yeah, no point with HE. And the same for cap resets by the time you've loaded up your HE clip. They've probably capped out on 1 anyway, so yeah, just load up plenty of standard AP. It's got a decent amount of pen and a couple of clips of premium just for those tricky situations. Well, there we go guys, hope you enjoyed today's quick review. Please give it a like if you did, please sub if you're not, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.